we're live from STS. Well, no, it's 304 Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas. I'm BT, and this is STSPOD Skim-stember, and I have a Skimahorns here, guys. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
Oh, we're doing good. And to this, right now, the first episode that we have with the Skimahorns, we're going to do a cool kids countdown. There's only been very few guys, except my co-host Lance, do cool kids countdown. And y'all are in good company because I had Ricky Morton do one last year.
Oh.
So what you guys did, let me tell the audience real quick, what you guys did is send me your favorite tag teams, 10 teams. I kind of jumbled them up so that I could actually, because they're kind of my favorite tag teams also, but I put them kind of in the order that I like them. And then I'm going to let you guys talk about what y'all thought about them and why you picked these 10 tag teams. We'll have 10. We'll have 5 tag teams, take a commercial break, and come back with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But let's get started. Number 10, I was a huge fan of these guys just because of the way they came out with their music and all that, but it was Harlem Heat. Why did y'all guys pick Harlem Heat?
Pretty much the same reason as you. I liked their music and their pyro.
And they look bad.
Yeah, they 2 big guys. They look like badasses, right? All right, so that's number. Was a good pick for both of you guys. And talk about this team more. I think they actually are really, really underrated in Paul London and Brian Kendricks.
Yeah. When we first started wrestling, we studied those 2 dudes.
They're like new age rockers.
Yeah, they're so good. Underrated, like you said. They should have. Man, they're just so good.
It's funny that we say overrated, and I said that. I mean, underrated, but they had the tag team titles for a long time. But it was like, I don't know. It's like no one knew that they had the tag team titles.
They were stuck in that 5-minute slot. Every match they had was about 5 to 8 minutes. It was wild, man.
Hey, that's a TV match you guys have to do. So that kind of studying those guys to do it. All right, number 8. This team, I want to say it influences a lot of the style going on right now with the Motor City Machine Guns. And back then, when I was watching those guys, I would more think they were – I called them flippity-floppity, okay? Spot monkeys. But they were so good and invented so many moves. So is that part of the reason both of you guys picked these guys?
Yeah, one of my favorite tag teams of all time. They're great.
Almost all tag teams take something from the Motor City Machine Guns.
Briar, that's right. It's a great point right there. You talk about, and I'm going to talk about this as we go later on, but the Young Bucks have talked about how their style, it was really not their style. It was the Motor City Machine Gun style, and how they kind of stole everything from the way they paced matches and such. But yeah, just an excellent team. Yeah. All right, another one of my favorites, number 7. Is the Dolly Boys. Why did you guys pick the Dolly Boys?
Man, because their feud with the Hardys and the Edge and Christian and, the tables. Everybody likes seeing a table get broke.
You can't not have the Dudley Boys on a tag team list. Like, that's just insane.
I got to agree with you there with those 2 guys, and it's coming out with move after move and doing double team moves. You can just watch them the way they also, when they're working heel, the way they let the baby faces do while they're working heel. That is a really good study to do, to watch what the Dudleys let the baby in the sense that when the baby faces are making their comeback and stuff. Good stuff. And number 6, 2 of my favorite wrestlers. Well, they were as a team, they were 2 of my favorite guys. But Sean, as a single guy, was really Marty kind of didn't ever do anything after this. But it was the Rockers. You 2 guys like the Rockers.
Yep. They're also really inventive, coming up with a bunch of just crazy stuff that people hadn't seen besides from the Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah. What did you think about that? Because Ricky Morton was actually on here last year doing a Cool Kids Countdown, and he had no animosity toward him. Did you, since growing up in this area, did you guys ever look at the Rockers and say, "Oh, they're trying to be the Rock and Roll Express, and I don't like them"?
I never said that, but I'm also not old enough to have seen them in their prime, like doing their thing.
Yeah.
Well, that might be part of it. That's kind of like what I was. The same thing with Demolition. I had to go back. They're not on this list, by the way, guys. Great tag team. Go back and watch them. I actually had to go back and watch a lot of Demolition stuff because I had this thing about them being Road Warrior copycats, and I just did not want to be a fan of those guys. But they have a lot of going in and out to psychology too. All right, guys, we made the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 pretty quick, so we're going to go to a quick commercial break. And when we come back, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, back from commercial. This is Skim-stember, and we got a bunch of stuff. We're going to have a Skimahorns t-shirt, a mask, all this stuff giveaway to one lucky person. The wrestling buddies, the Skimahorns will actually call you and cut a promo on you. And I've got some tag team title belts sitting over there. I got them at a yard sale, guys. And we're going to give them away too. Big package of over $100 worth of stuff. Also, if you'll see our little ad, if you're watching this, we have Cash Apps helping us with this. If you don't want to join the Patreon and you want a chance to win all this stuff, you can Cash App us $5 at $BTSTS. Or if you don't have the Cash App, if you don't have a Cash App, I guess that's the way you say it. Then you can get it by using that code, and you get $5. So you get $5 and spend $5. So it's actually free to be part of the spin the wheel and a chance to win that big prize. All right, guys, let's get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The new Age Outlaws. Let me just ask real quick. They've been in this area a lot. Have you guys had a chance to actually work against those guys?
Nope. No, but it got talked about one time a couple years ago, but it just never came through. It would have been cool to happen, though.
I've not been around Billy Gunn except at StarCast, and that guy's huge.
That's what I
always heard is he's looking bigger in real life.
Oh my God! I had this funny story. I was at StarCast. I've told it on the show a million times, but I had to pee really bad, and I finally found a bathroom. I walk into the bathroom, and here's Billy Gunn standing there at the stall, and I swear to God, it felt like he was. I came up to his back, and I was like, "No, I'm not seeing here. No." And so I turned around and I walked out. My friend said, "I thought you had to pee," and I was like, "No, Billy Gunn's in there. He's huge, and he is, and he even makes his son look smaller." I've been on a show with Road Dogg, just total professional. But when those guys came out, I know y'all felt this, but as a fan, there's no way you're not going to do the mic work that they, with them, with the same cadence and everything. Yeah. But they could come out on TV right now and still be over.
Oh, 100% they could.
Number 4, and I want to make a note that these guys probably, when it comes to things that they've done and people emulate with Edge and Christian, probably still to this day, you see stuff that they did. Just a tremendous, tremendous tag team.
Yeah, they were. But they're even better singles wrestlers, I think. But
I thought that when I was making the list, I was like, wait, maybe they were just as good as a single tag team. And is there anything that you guys as a fans growing up watching these guys that you just said, oh, man, I'm going to tell you my point was when they came out as the Brood. I loved them as the Brood.
The Brood was cool. Yeah, I guess that's it for me too. I was like, those guys are pretty cool. I like the fire.
Yeah.
And like you said, I really think Edge's turn, both of those guys, in their being older veterans, are actually having some of the best matches in the last year and a half than they've ever had in their career as single guys. So it's kind of crazy how you keep learning in this business. And speaking of still having matches, and one of them's on WWE and one of them's on AEW, and that's the Hardy Boys.
My all-time favorite tag team. Love them. That's a dream match right there. The Skims versus the Hardys.
Well, you just never know. I mean, the way things are, they have all kinds of. You never know when one of them's going to jump, and you'd be able. AEW is giving opportunity to guys, working dark matches and stuff like that. But yeah, I could see where my all-time. Me being a manager, pretty much, I always wanted to do something with Jim Cornette or do something with Paul Heyman. No, Paul Heyman's still way in the business. I still have a chance with Cornette. You never know. So the top 2 tag teams we're going to talk about, because of y'all's top 10, it was kind of my top 2 of all time. Number 2, Rock and Roll Express. Y'all got to work around those guys?
We've been around them, but we've never been in the ring with them. But I swear to God that will change, and I'm going to whoop up on Ricky Morton. He better watch out. That's a challenge, Rock and Roll Express.
Ricky was fantastic. He came on and talked about tag team. The number 1 team and the number 2. Number 1, let's go ahead. It's the Midnight Express, and they had some of the best matches. That's class. You go to class and you study those two. You guys don't. I don't know if you remember, but I had tag teams, so I was a tag team man. I booked 2 tag teams all the time, and then did the finishes and did the starts and did this and that. I spent so much time just watching when these 2 teams would come in and out of heat and stuff like that. Just tremendous.
Yes, I agree. Midnight Express, it's a tag team, class, like you said.
All right, so 2 questions. We're going to end this up. Tell me if y'all can think of something y'all stowed. Y'all stowed a move or a combo of moves or something from one of these top 10.
Okay, so
we got a list.
Yeah, so back in the day when we first started, we used to do, I hate these trains. We used to do the poetry in motion, like Matt and Jeff Hardy, where Jeff jumps off Matt's back. We used to do that. And
we
then
used to do the Motor City Machine Gun spot where
one of them would grab the head and then drop kick
the face. I forgot how they went into that.
Man, there's just too many, because we stole a lot of London and Kendricks stuff.
We used to just be a parody,
but now we've got our own stuff.
That was the Mercury Brothers, right? They were a parody. The Mercury Brothers. There you go.
The Mercury Brothers kind of came into their own, but then the Skims kind of put the stab in the Mercury Brothers.
You guys know, listen to the podcast. I made such a big deal about your last names, not knowing it was your shoot last name, and saying what the hell is a Skimahorn, and all that. And then just you guys looking when you first started, and I mentioned this to Brad when I had him on, it felt like y'all was a little nervous, but as TV went on, it's like y'all have been just a solid tag team. And no matter who you're in the ring with, you have a good match. And that's a big deal in this business if you can have a match with anybody. So, all right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Same bad time, same bad channel on the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Be there. And as everyone knows, and Brad and Briar know now, I love my mama. All right. Good deal. Man, that went